You can cross at your shins or you can sit on your shins if you prefer. If you have a block or a blanket or something to go under your hips to give you a little more ease here, feel free to add in. I specifically teach without props in case you don't have them. If you have them, utilize them. I'm just doing it specifically so that you know that you don't have to have them. We're just adapting to our current situation. With your hands resting on your thighs, allow your eyes to soften. Let your lower teeth fall away from your upper teeth, so just relax the jaw a little bit. Beautiful. And in this first moment arriving on your mat, just notice what you bring to your practice today. How do you feel physically? Is your body speaking to you here, right in this first moment of being seated? How's your energy? Maybe your energy level, but also your energy, like how you are feeling about practicing, about being here, calmness, quiet, a little anxiety, whatever it is you're feeling, all are good and right in whatever the moment has offered you. And we act as observers of ourselves, of our bodies, of our minds, of our breath. On your next breath, you're going to move to your hands and your knees. This is little mister. He's my yogi kitty. Hi, bud. And we're going to move our spine a little side to side. Just a couple times back and forth. And the next time your spine moves to the right, you're going to take your right arm overhead. You're going to plant that right hand down and pull away with the right hip. And then come back up through center. And then side bend over to the left. Take the left arm forward. Plant the head down. Pull the hip away. Really get a big side stretch. So feeling like the lats getting lengthened. And then back through center. Inhaling the heart, your head, and your tailbone to the sky. Exhaling, rounding your back, pushing the floor away, doming the belly into the spine. Inhaling, extending, and exhaling to round. Inhaling, and exhaling. One more time, inhale, and exhale. Come through a neutral spine, tuck your toes, come into downward facing dog, please. And in this first moment in down dog, maybe you feel ready to just be here and be in stillness. Fantastic if that's the case. If it's not the case and you need to move around a little bit, feel free to do that. You have a few breaths to play with this downward facing dog as you need to. Yes. Really nice, really nice. In case you came in after I introduced myself, my name is Maeve McCaffrey. If you're working with any injuries or if there's anything that you feel like I should know about with your practice, you can put it in the chat bar. And then when you're ready, if you're moving around, see if you can draw some stillness to the body, taking the hips high, sending weight back into the legs, back to the heels, pressing the hands firmly down to get more length in the arms, in the spine. Take one more breath in
Right knee comes into your chest. Place your right foot by your right hand.
Both hands stay down on the ground. Again, if you have blocks, feel free to use them here. Pulling the hands toward your back foot, pulling the heart toward the top of your mat. Left leg nice and strong and straight. Pushing the knee and the thigh toward the sky. Good. If this is enough, you'll stay here. We've got 5 more breaths. If you want, hands can come to your hips. You hug the elbows in and pull the shoulder heads up. If that's enough, you stay there. Maybe reach the hands back toward the left heel, or perhaps the arms come overhead. And then turn the left heel down to the center of the mat, reverse warrior. Finding a big side bend on this right side body, allowing the hip to sink and get heavy. And just expand up this right side. Front knee bending generously, back leg actively pressing back. One more inhale. Bring your hands around to the top of the mat. Come up onto the back toes. Step your back foot, your left foot to your right foot, top of the mat. So you can kind of push off to bring the feet together. Come halfway with your inhale. And then folding down with your exhale.
Bend your knees, lower your hips. Utkatasana, chair.
One more inhale here. Press up to stand with the exhale. Pause. Just pause here. I'm going to mirror you. Beautiful. You can take your right hand to your left wrist. Right hand to your left wrist. And then lift up and over to the side. Very nice. Inhale, rise back up to center. Switch the hand. And then over to the left. Inhale, rise back up. And then exhale, forward fold down the center. Good. Come halfway with your inhale. Plant your hands. Step your left foot back. Step your right foot back, nice and strong and plank. A few breaths here. Thumbs draw toward each other. Pinky fingers spiral outward. So as you do that action, as you pull the thumbs in toward each other, as you spiral the pinkies out, your shoulders start to pull toward your hips a little bit. So you're engaging the lats on your back so that you're feeling very strong here. Yes, very nice. Take another breath in. Your choice, halfway down, chaturanga or the floor, cobra or upward facing dog, and downward facing dog with your exhale. Take an inhale. Left knee into your chest. Place your left foot next to your left hand. Keep your hands down. Pull your chest forward. Push your right thigh, your right knee to the sky. Smooth out your breath. If this is enough, you'll stay here. If you want, maybe hands to the hips. Pull the shoulders open, hug the elbows up. Maybe reach the hands back behind you, or perhaps arms overhead. Turn the back heel in. Reverse warrior back. Yes, very nice, very nice. So generous bend in the front leg, resisting toward the back of the mat with the inner right leg. Notice your mind here. Are you anticipating what's next? Sometimes I get excited in class, like what's the teacher gonna do next? What are we gonna do next? And I have to remind myself, just be here now, be in this moment. And sometimes we're like, what are we gonna do next? I know it takes two different faces there. But be here now, be in this breath. Even if you know where we're going, because I could change my mind. Take another breath in. Bring the hands around, come up onto the back toes. Push off the back toes, step to the top of your mat. Halfway, inhale. Fold down, exhale. Chair pose, bending the knees, lifting the heart, lifting the arms. And then pressing up to stand. And then releasing the arms down. At your sides, palms turned open. You're going to inhale, right arm straight up and over to the left. And then bring the arm around. And then left arm straight up and over and bring it around. And then inhale, both arms straight up the center. Get as high as you can through the arms, through the heart, through the crown of the head, and then forward fold with your exhale. Inhaling halfway. Chaturanga, exhaling. Rising, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog with your exhale. Full breath in. Full breath out. Lift your heels, inhale. Bend your knees, stretch your heart forward, stretch your hips back, feet to your hands. Halfway, inhale. Fold down, exhale. Rise to stand, inhale. Hands into your heart this time, exhale. Release the hands down. Inhale, right arm stretches up, over, and around. Left arm stretches up, over, and around. Inhale, straight up the center. Exhale, bowing forward. Halfway, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Open the heart to the sky, upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog, exhale. Breathing together, inhale. Exhale. High to your toes, inhale. Bend your knees, look forward, feet to hands. Halfway, inhale. Fold, exhale. Rise to stand, inhale. Hands to your heart, exhale. Right arm up and over, inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale, left. Exhale, release. Inhale, up the center. Exhale, bow through that same line of energy all the way down. Halfway, inhale. Chaturanga, vinyasa, or simply back to downward facing dog. You choose. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, feet up to your hands. Halfway, inhale. Fold, exhale. Rise to stand, inhale. Draw your hands into your heart, exhale. Really nice. Take a pause. Pick up your right heel. Turn your right knee open to the right. And so you're gonna just drag this foot up energetically. So first it might just come to the calf. And drag it up, maybe it comes to the knee. It's okay to make contact with the knee. Drag it up, maybe reach down, drag it up, and then bring it to the inner thigh if you want. If you want. The leg is pushing back against the foot is pushing into the leg. The leg is stable, but not rigid. The foot is drawing up at the same time as it's pressing in. Bring your hands to your hips. Just level your pelvis. Broaden the collarbones. With your hands on your hips, feeling that the hip points are still pretty much here, that you haven't translated over to your right. You're going to slide your right hand, palm up, back of the hand onto the thigh. And the left arm comes up. And we're taking a little side bend. Maybe it starts to grow as you're here. Really expanding that side body, that side rib cage. Yes, really nice. Inhale, rise back up, neutralize the spine. Turn the knee forward, and then slide it down into chair. Just take a pause. Come back up through center, hands into your heart. Pick up the left heel, turn the knee open. Glide the foot up. Glide the foot up. Good. So it's really easy to forget what this energy is of gliding the foot up if we just pull the foot in and we plant it there. So see how much of that energy you can keep there. Good. Hands to hip points. Just giving yourself some feedback, some physical feedback of where you are in space. You're amazing. Bring your hand, palm facing up, back of the hand onto the leg. And then just a gentle side bend. And maybe it grows as you're here. And maybe you fall out of it. Doesn't matter. I probably will. Inhale, draw back up through center, right the spine. Draw your hands to your heart. Turn the knee forward, plant the foot down, slowly, right into chair pose. Pick up your heels, shift into your toes, come into a toe stand. I'm just going to go sideways here. And then start to sink down. Bring your hands down to the ground. Option to bring your knees into your triceps. For today, keep your hips up really high. And you don't have to take your feet up off the floor. You just kind of tip forward, look forward. But maybe you start to take the feet up off the ground. Bakasana, crow. Hug shoulders to hips. Pull the belly in, round that back. And then when you're ready, from wherever you are, Chaturanga Vinyasa. From downward facing dog, right leg back with your inhale. Keep the right leg straight. Lift the right leg as high as you can. Turn the hip open, the toes, the knee. Bend the knee, and allow a stretch to happen here. Come back through center, and then knee into your chest. Place your right foot by your right hand. Big bend in the front leg, super strong back leg. Sweep the arms overhead if it's okay. Sink down a little deeper, and then reverse warrior. Root that back heel down, take it up and back. Bring it around. Come onto the back toes. Standing splits. Lift the left leg up. Maybe hold on to this right leg if it feels okay. And then stretch the left foot away from the right foot.
Come to chair, top of the mat.
Hands to heart. Left arm outside of your right thigh, and we twist to the right. Parivrtta Utkatasana. Yeah. Heart high, hips low. Balance the weight in your feet. Yes. Good. If you can stay in the twist, you're going to keep it. Get light in the left foot. Step your foot back. Yes, yes. One more breath in. Release your hands all the way around to the left side. Square the feet over to the left side of your mat.
For Prasarita Padottanasana, hands at shoulders distance, elbows shoulders distance. Halfway with your inhale, fold down with your exhale. If you're very comfortable here in tripod headstand, you start to bring the head to the floor. You get lighter in the feet, and then maybe just straddle the legs out. If you came up into headstand, slowly straddle down. And then everyone lengthen halfway. Walk your hands around to the top of the mat. Left hand, pinky side of the left foot, Vashisthasana. Step the right foot back. Reach the right hand to the sky. Yeah. Beautiful. Find your breath. Consider bending your left elbow just a little bit and hugging the elbow into the side, engaging this lat on the left side. And then maybe lifting, coming into a side bend, right arm overhead, and then finally, Chaturanga, exhale. Open and rise. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Left leg stretches back with your inhale. Keep the leg straight to start. Open the hip, the knee, the foot toward the left. And then bend the knee if it feels good. Come back through center. And then draw your knee forward. Place your left foot next to your left hand. Stay on the back toes. If it's okay, sweep the arms overhead. And then reverse warrior, root the back heel. Rise up and back. And then come around, standing splits, top of the mat. Feet come together. Utkatasana, inhale. Hands to heart. Right arm outside of the left thigh. And we twist. Revolve chair. And if you can keep the twist, you will. Get light in the right foot. Step your right foot to the back of the mat into a nice low lunge, opening into this twist. So right thigh to the sky, feet energetically pull toward each other. One more, inhale. Unravel, come around to the right side. Walk your hands around and square your feet. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, Prasarita Padottanasana. Again, hands, elbows are at shoulders distance. So what I mean by that is that the hands aren't way out here, they're right here. Pull the thumbs in, spiral the pinky fingers outward, hug the elbows in. If the crown of the head comes to the floor and you feel comfortable shifting weight into the hands, you can straddle up into tripod headstand. You do not have to. Really nice. Very nice. Beautiful. So headstand doesn't work on every body. It's not a pose that you need to aspire to.
But if it feels good to you, don't let me hold you back. Yeah. And that's the feedback you need to take. If you're practicing these poses and you're coming out and you don't feel good, don't keep repeating those same things, or maybe we need some adjustments. If you're in headstand, straddle back down, please. Come halfway with your inhale. And then walk your hands around. Vashisthasana on the right hand, right foot, stacking the feet. Consider putting a little bend in this elbow once you feel stationary, and then hugging the elbow toward the side. So this lat gets all fired up to support you. And then from there, you can start to find that side bend. So it's just a variation on side plank. And then chaturanga, exhale. Rising. And downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Smooth out your breath. Check in. Steady, soft, even inhale to exhale. Notice your thoughts. Notice the tone and the quality of your thoughts. How are you speaking to yourself, to me? And again, don't judge that, just observe it. And if you are speaking with anything less than kindness to yourself, I encourage you to change that tone and really embrace yourself, your practice, your breath, your choice to be here now. We're going to take that sequence, we're going to move a wee bit faster. Inhale, right leg back. Open the hips, stay here, or flip over into wild thing if it feels good. Maybe really expanding that right side body. And then we're going to step this right foot to the top of the mat. Sweep the arms forward. Root the back heel down, reverse warrior. And then coming around, hands to the ground. Back heel lifts, standing, splits top of the mat. Feet come together, Utkatasana, and then hands to heart. Left arm outside the right thigh. Find your twist. Beautiful. Maybe open the arms, maybe, because remember we're moving from here into a lunge, stepping the left foot back. And then releasing the twist out. Wide leg forward fold, Prasarita, Padottanasana. You don't have time for a headstand, just take the fold. Come back up, Vashisthasana, left hand, left foot. Maybe taking that big sweep up to find a rainbow shape. And then Chaturanga, exhale. Rising. Dog pose, exhale. Left leg back, inhale. Open the hip if it feels good, flip over if you'd like. And then step left foot top of the mat. Stay on the back toes, sweep the arms forward. Back heel roots, follow through into reverse warrior. And then standing splits, top of the mat. Chair, inhale. Hands to heart. Right arm outside the left thigh, you twist to the left. Maybe open up the arms. And then right foot gets light, step to the back of the mat. Release the twist. Come around to your right. Prasarita, Padottanasana. Lengthen back up. Come to the top of the mat with your right hand. Come onto the right pinky side of foot. Vashisthasana. And then Chaturanga, exhale. Rising. And downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. High to your toes, inhale. Bend your knees, exhale, feet up to your hands. Halfway, inhale.
Fold, exhale. Rise to stand, inhale. Pause here. Pick up the right knee. Bring your right hand to your right knee, or right hand, first 2 fingers and thumbs to the big toe. Your left arm can come out to the side, it can be on your hip, whatever feels good to you. And then inhale, right leg, right arm out to the right, whether the leg is bent or straight. Good, everyone bend the right knee. Bring the ankle to the left thigh. Flex the right foot. Flex the foot, the ankle. And then start to sit. This is perfect. So I always hesitate to even give options because you're perfect already where you are, but I'm going to give you some options in case you want them. In case you want them, sink deeper. In case you want to, bring your hands down to the ground, maybe forward fold here. If you want to take an arm balance, shin to the triceps, hands to the ground, don't overthink it. Wrap the foot around the shoulder, and then tip. And then maybe the back leg starts to extend. And then coming back out the same way we came in, rising up, knee comes through center, and then release the foot down, and pause. Take a few breaths here. With an inhale, left knee rises up. Hand to knee, or find that toe lock and take the big toe. Arm can come out to the side, or your hand can stay at your hip. It's up to you. And then open the leg, whether the leg is bent or not, out to the side. Yeah. Fantastic. Beautiful. You're going to bend the knee. You're going to bring the ankle across the thigh. And then sitting down. Hug the hips in. Yes, beautiful. Beautiful. This doesn't need to change if you want. Hands can come down. You can forward fold here. If you want, you wrap the foot around the shoulder. That's a huge part of it. Get the shin into the triceps. Tip forward. And then maybe the leg goes back. And come out the same way we came in. Rising up. And then releasing the foot down. Hands into your heart in prayer. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale. And exhale. Release your arms down the sides. Right arm reaches up and over. And then release it. Left arm up and over. Release it. Straight up to center. Inhale. Forward fold. Exhale. Halfway. Inhale. Chaturanga. Exhale. Rise, inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Right leg back with your inhale. Bring your right knee to your right tricep. And then place your foot forward. Back heel turns in. Front knee bent deeply. Hand can stay at the floor, inside or outside of the foot, or arm can move up to the thigh. We're opening Parshva Konasana. So this pose can feel like there's a side bend. There's really not. Keep the sides of the body parallel. So soften these top ribs down and in. Lengthen these bottom ribs long. Out. Like imagine you want to send your ribs past your knee.
Use your arm and your leg against each other to create more space, more wrapping open, more rotation. Stand heavier on your back foot. And then with your inhale, reverse triangles. You're going to straighten the front leg, sweep up and back, get that nice big side bend. We're going to keep all the length on that right side, tipping over, and triangle. One more inhale. Release down, bring both hands to the inside of this right foot, and then slide your shoulders to the inside of the knee, any amount. Maybe bring the hands to the ground. Maybe start to sink the hips and start to feel like you could sit your right hamstring onto your elbow. And then maybe keep this leg hooked around the arm and just start to pick the foot up and tip forward. So that your elbow is in that hamstring. Bring it back around, put the back knee down, half splits, shifting back. Rebend the front leg. Bring your hands to the inside of your right foot. Take this right leg straight out to the side on the floor. And then rising up. Right hand's just going to slide down the right leg, big side bend over to the right. Rise up with your inhale. Keep this right leg where it is, shifting forward with control. Bring the right leg back. Plant the foot, tuck the toes. Vinyasa or downward facing dog. Lots of care moving through those transitions. Left leg back, inhale. Left knee to left tricep. And then place your foot down. Parsva Konasana. Rolling open. So arm to thigh is fantastic. You do not have to have, the goal is not to get your hand to the floor. I mean, as you get more open in the pose, your hand gets to the floor, but that's not like the ultimate goal. It's like, I've got to get my hand down there. It has very little to do with that. It's about creating space. It's about allowing the body, the space to get deep in the hips here. Allowing this back leg to give you more strength so that your spine feels supported. The sides of the body get longer. Energetically pull your feet toward each other. We'll give you a little lift. Reverse triangle, pressing into that front foot. Rise up and back. Good, lengthening up. Trikonasana, you can adjust your feet if you need to. I sometimes like a little shorter stance. Top ribs soften, bottom ribs lengthen. From belly button to pubic bone, draws in gently. Tailbone lengthens. So you've taken the side bend out of the spine. I Our spine does some really amazing things like flexion, extension, side bending, flexion, extension to the sides, twisting. We've done all of those things today. Keeping the spine mobile. Yes. One more breath in. Just release the hands down around to the inside of that front leg. Maybe start to work the shoulder inside. Maybe start to feel like you could put your weight of the left hamstring onto your elbow. And then maybe just hooking the leg around that arm. Good. And then releasing, coming into half splits. Come forward again. Plant your hands, take this left foot straight out to the left side. And then rising up. And then side bending over to your left. So we can get really stuck in our torso, especially if we're sitting a lot. And it's almost like our shoulders are just starting to collapse into our hips, right? And the rib cage is melting into the hip points. Instead, let's open that up. Let's create the space between the hips and the ribs. The space between each of the ribs, stretching out those intercostals. If you could imagine, you could actually stretch them. Inhale, rise back up. Bring the hands forward. Bring that left leg back, right leg back. Vinyasa if you would like. Last one. And then knees down in child's pose, please. Just take a stretch back. Smooth out your breath. Just slow down. Really nice. Yeah. Beautiful. Come onto your backs. And Setu Bandha Sharvangasana, shoulder supported bridge pose. Feet are flat. Press the shoulders down. Push into the inner foot, the big toe side of the foot to rise up. Outer legs lightly pressing in. And then lengthen. Shoulders to hips. Hips to knees. Knee to foot. So if you could imagine that each segment of your body is getting longer. Yeah. Last inhale. And then release down gently with an exhale. And pause. See how that felt? And really do that work. How did that feel? Did that feel good? If it felt great, you can repeat it. If it felt great and you want a little bigger back bend, you can come into Urdhva Dhanurasana. If it didn't feel great, scale it back. Maybe make it lower. Wherever that point was that didn't feel great, address it. Don't ignore it. If it's your low back, lengthen out the low back. If it was the weight on your shoulders, see if you can distribute it more evenly. Last inhale. And then your exhale brings you down. Knowing that something can be challenging and still feel great. It can be challenging and still feel great. What we're looking to move away from is pain, not great. Last one, upward facing bow or bridge pose. Inhale to rise. Your exhale brings you out. Take your feet wide on the mat. Drop your knees into each other. Bring your hands to your belly. Feel your breath in and out of your body.
arms out to the sides, both knees to the right. Both knees to the left. Both knees back to center. Hug your knees in and rise to seated. Really nice. Okay, we're actually going to start the legs that wide. We'll start here. You're going to bring your one foot in, I don't care which one. I'm going to go, I'll mirror you, so this will be my right foot in. Disclaimer, not the best at mirroring, not the best, but this is your right foot in if I'm mirroring you. So now left arm to left leg, right hand to right knee, twisting open, and then getting that nice big side bend here. So continuing this path of opening up the side body. I always think of like a steam cleaner. You're steaming out the side of the body. Every inhale gives it space, and every exhale you just soften and take the space that you've been given by the breath. Find some work, but find equal ease to balance that work. Inhale, rise back up. You're going to bend this left knee. You're going to slide your right foot across a little bit more. And then you're going to come like a half happy baby with your left leg. Good. This might be enough. You're using the hand and the foot to create length in the spine to lift up. So you're pulling and you're pushing, and that's going to give you this lift in the spine. If this is good, you stay here. If you want, you switch over. You switch your right hand to your left foot. Not the best mirror. Your left hand comes to the calf, and then maybe you work the shoulder inside. This can also be a stopping point. Anywhere along this path is a stopping point. Maybe your left hand comes down to the ground. Perhaps you start to kick open here, and you get a real deep side bend. And then come back around. And then take both legs out wide again. All right, second shot at mirroring. Left foot comes in, helps if I set it up right. Right arm to right leg, left hand to left knee to start the process of wrapping open. And then maybe this arm comes up and over. It doesn't have to. We're just making shapes, that's all. Inhale, rise back up. And you're going to bend this right knee. You're going to bring the left foot a little further across just to kind of give yourself a better foundation here. And then we're going to find this half happy baby with the right side. You're lifting the spine. This can be plenty. Just use this to lift up the muscles of Navasana, boat pose holding you up. If you want, left hand comes across, right hand to right calf gives you a little lift to bring the shoulder inside. Maybe the hand comes down, and then maybe you open up. And then if you're here, you're going to rebend. You're going to take this right shin. You're going to bring it in front of the left shin, or you'll stack right on top of left. Beautiful. If your knee is up here and you need support, bring your hands behind your back and just give yourself a little lift here. You're not resting back on the hands, you're lifting up. If your shins kind of come fairly level, you're welcome
welcome to come forward, but don't force it. Don't force it, no suffering. Instead, pay attention to what's happening in the ankles. So keeping the ankle joint neutral, meaning that the bottom of the foot isn't just turning up toward the sky. Keep pushing the bottoms of the feet away. Sometimes it helps if you actually take your hands to your feet and kind of push hand to foot, foot to hand, to get a sense of what that action feels like in the ankles. Ultimately, that's protecting your ankles and your knees, thereby your hips and back. If you're forward, inhale, rise up. All we're going to do is switch the leg that's on top or in front. So if you're in Sukhasana and the right leg was in front, now it will be in the back. Same thing, take a second. These sides might present completely different. Respect that. And as you're ready, allowing the breath to take you in deeper. That doesn't mean physically, allowing you to take that time to dive deeper mentally as well. And if you're forward, inhale, rising up. Bring your legs out in front of you. Rise with an inhale. Come forward with your exhale. Catch hold of whatever you get. Inhale, heart forward. From the crease of the hips, deepen and come forward any amount. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, release. Come onto your backs, just roll down. You're going to take both of your knees to the right, take your left arm out to the side. You can cross the legs, you can do whatever feels nice here. As far as a twist goes, if a twist isn't what you need, do something else. It's totally fine. We're moving our bodies into a place for Shavasana. So whatever it is that you are craving physically that will allow you to go deeper in Shavasana, that's what you should be doing. Come back to center, and then the other side. And as you're ready, releasing out, finding your final position. I like legs nice and wide, so it's a little less classic with the feet narrow. I like them wide, let my feet fall open. I like my arms overhead sometimes. Big breath in, let it go. And then from there, just soften.
It's not about trying to do anything. It's actually not even about doing anything. It's about letting go so that we create space for new wonderful things, including this practice you just did. We always talk about letting go, but what are we doing with all the stuff we let go? Well, we're creating space for positivity, to feel even the unpleasant things, but to grow. Allow your breath to deepen. Allow your body to respond to that breath in the form of gentle movement, first maybe in the belly, the chest, and then out into the limbs, the hands, the feet. And when you are ready, you'll rise to seated, however you want to get there. You can roll to your side, you can rock up, whatever feels good. If you're not ready to come out of Shavasana, don't. Stay where you are. You're fine. If you're coming out, meet me seated. Once you're seated, bring your hands together at your heart. Just notice how you feel. I wasn't always good at noticing how I felt. I was very good at not noticing how I felt, but pretending to notice that I knew how I was feeling. Now I feel like I'm pretty good at it. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. I'm practicing. But it's this observation, it's this art of observation, this sense of self, and that you deserve this sense of self, that for me keeps me coming back to my mat. It's very rewarding to get to know yourself better and to really love yourself unconditionally. This practice and what it allows us to see. It's already there. Together, inhale. Exhale gently, bow your mind to your heart. Yoke your body and your mind together, honoring that bond, that connection that's always there if we pay attention. Rise with an inhale. Thank you so much for being here. Have a beautiful day. Namaste. If you have